guys, my name is Tuzzi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my March reading wrap-up. I read 5 books in the month of March and 2 of them were books in Korean. So I'm not going to review those 2. I did manage to finish 3 books in English and I borrowed all of them from the library. They were all fantastic books and I cannot wait to leave my reviews in this video. The first book I finished in March is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It felt like I was listening to a wise man telling a story, and that wise man will be Paulo Coelho himself. I did enjoy the book's messages but could not understand the religious aspects. For example, God is mentioned as God with a capital G, but I'm not sure whether that God is really him according to Christianity. I wish the author explained the religious parts with more detailed explanations. It was interesting to read a book that was written by a Brazilian author. I listened to Brida by Paulo Coelho on audiobook about a year ago and it was short. This one was short as well. It took me 2 days to finish The Alchemist. It was a quick read but a heavy one that required a lot of thinking. I would like to share the most memorable quotes to me from the book. She would look to it every day and would try to guess which star the boy was following in search of his treasure. She would have to send her kisses on the wind, hoping that the wind would touch the boy's face, and would tell him that she was alive, that she was waiting for him, a woman awaiting a courageous man in search of his treasure. From that day on, the desert would represent only one thing to her, the hope for his return. I thought this quote was beautiful. I will always hold these words in my heart. The second book I got my hands on is At Bertram's Hotel by Agatha Christie. This is the 10th book of the Miss Marple series by Agatha Christie. After watching the movie Death on the Nile, I was intrigued to read something by Agatha Christie. I found this book easy to read through. Despite the fact that it was written in 1965, it wasn't that hard to understand old modern English. I was on the edge of my seat trying to uncover and solve the mystery surrounding the disappearance and murder of one of the main characters. I was entertained and kept finding myself attempting to put together the broken puzzles. I did expect a lot more from this book. It was my first read by this author and I was a bit disappointed with the ending and the way the story wrapped itself. However, I do want to give Agatha Christie another chance. The last book I finished and loved is Kindred by Octavia Butler. This book is an adult fantasy / time travel novel. It is about Dana, an African American woman who is celebrating her 26th birthday with her new husband. She suddenly feels dizzy and finds herself traveling back to the South in the 1800s. She sees a young white boy who is almost about to drown in the river and Dana saves him right away. She realizes that she always goes back to the past whenever Rufus, the white boy, is in danger and calls for help. And later she finds out that Rufus is actually one of her ancestors. Dana cannot help but experience everything that Black slaves and African American women had to go through in American history. She has to go through the deep pain of having to see both herself and the other Blacks suffer from discrimination. It was so terrifying and horrific to read about the details of the lives of the slaves. They were beaten and sold without their voices or opinions being heard. They had no choices and rights to make their own decisions. I would love to read other works by Octavia Butler. I have become a big fan of hers and I cannot wait to read further. Alright, so that is my March reading wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. I will see you in my next video. Bye!